Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the moon card. This is a doorway of change. This kind of feels to me like it's a change from nighttime to daytime, right? That the sun is just about to rise on a very dark situation for you, okay? So it may feel that you are, you're kind of in a dark, scary forest right now, and we maybe aren't sure which way to go. We aren't sure when it's going to end or what's going to be on the other side of this, but you are confident. You stepped into this situation with hope and with strength in your heart, and you're going to get through the other side, okay? This is that card of a kind of a dark, scary doorway, okay? And, you know, I think it may be that we don't know really what is coming in the future, but we know that the current situation is going to give way to a better one. We see that little solar disk at the bottom with the beetle there, right? That we're being transformed by this situation. That's one thing, right? But we are about to be reborn on a higher plane. We're about to be reborn into the next phase of life. This is a divine doorway. We're going to use a divine doorway oracle card. Your doorway is trust the universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. Have faith and breathe. Okay, trust the universe. Now, I don't really like this, that your intuition has wandered and led you astray. If it's true intuition, it will never lead you astray. The intuition, the high priestess, is always leading you to your best life. You can always trust the intuition. Problem is, we don't always know whether it's intuition or just some kind of complex, some kind of ego desire, or wishful thinking, something like this that's led us, right? So sometimes our thoughts will lead us astray, but maybe the trust in our intuition and our trust in the universe will lead us to the sunrise on the other side of this, okay? Let's keep going. Let's put the rest of our cards on the table here. You've got that Emperor energy. Very good. The Eight of Pentacles. The Empress back there. Okay. The Death card. That is the transfer. Oh, and the Ten of Cups. Very nice. Your trust is in your own confidence in your power. You know that this is going to be a positive thing. Okay. You know that this is going to lead to wonderful things for you. This bliss, this dream come true in the future. Yeah. Over here we have the Fool. Look at that, freedom, dancing in the sunlight kind of thing. We've got a Two of Swords, a Nine of Cups, and a Six of Pentacles. That seems like light at the end of the tunnel. It seems like we're starting to see the sunrise now. You know those first few moments of sunrise where just the light rays start to they start to just peek over the horizon and they're just like, you can see them beaming right at you. That's the moment. I sat outside and watched the sunrise today, and it's just that moment where the sun starts to come up and the first rays of light hit you. It's such a glorious moment. It feels like the night is over and we're ready for the day to begin. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana energies. Wow, that's a lot. That's really a lot. And we don't see any fire. We see a couple of waters, we see an air, and we see a couple of earth cards. Okay? And I think that's quite significant. In a way, all the fires consolidated into the Emperor. Okay? And the Emperor has this confidence that we're going to get through the dark, scary forest. It's almost like the Emperor is kind of just, in a way, not worried, not bothered, right? Reminds me of that Catherine Tate show that she used to do. I'm not bothered. But we are bothered. But we are still moving forward with this confidence in the universe, this confidence in ourself, as the microcosm of the macrocosm, as a reflection of the macrocosm. We have this confidence in ourselves. We're worried. We're scared. We're in a dark, scary forest. And every moment is a crossroads right now. But we have the confidence that we're going to get through this. We believe, we acknowledge, right? I know I'm going to make it. I know that this is going to end and that I'm going to get the good stuff on the other side of this. I know it's going to happen. It's scary for now, but we have that sort of, we have a fortified ego right now. Okay? And this is kind of, this is the way like an emperor never wants to show their weakness. Maybe it's almost a valor in battle where it's just like, the odds are against us. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm shaking in my boots, but you won't see me shaking in my boots. You won't see me with anything but laughter and a smile on my face. And I feel like this is kind of this is the way we're trying to keep our sort of self or our ego intact right now as we're going through this dark, scary forest. Okay, this is a challenging situation for you. I don't know exactly what's going on, but speaking of the smile and the laughter, someone has a really distinct laugh, right? And I think it's you. And this came up again I don't know if it was for Virgo, for a different sign, but Spirit really is I don't know if it's just a boisterous laugh. Yeah, and I feel like you won something recently. Like there was, I don't know what it was, but you kind of, I don't know, like you almost feel like you won like a bingo game or something, right? But there was something like you won. Maybe that's where all this laughter is taking place. I don't know. But we see a lot of these major arcana cards today, right? Especially the transformation, which I think is interesting, especially at the top here, because it feels like this is that slow, steady process of change. It's kind of we talk about these overnight changes, right? And I think it is with the moon card. We're stepping across a threshold, and we're stepping across a boundary where the nighttime gives way to day. And so it kind of feels like we're crossing over that moment. At one moment it's nighttime, and then the next moment it's daytime. The sun rises, that's it. It takes 1 second. So it feels like an overnight change when it happens. But we know the truth. We know that this has been in preparation for a long, long time for you. That maybe we've been feeling like we're lost in that dark, scary forest for a long time. And maybe the moon card is you really fearing that your intuition has led you astray. Maybe the fear of the moon card is that I'm not supposed to be here. I must have made a wrong turn at Albuquerque. I don't know how I'm here, and I'm scared. I don't know how to get out of here, and oh God, what did I do to my life? I think that we have to trust the universe and realize that I'm here for a reason now. I know that's very cliche, and I don't like saying that, but we're here, and we can't undo it. We can't go back to sleep. We can't go back to this empress, the empress back here kind of representing this stage of like comfort, or like, before we went on this adventure. This is not the dark, scary forest. This is the very comfortable village, right, with the fire and all your friends and all the good food. And this is the dark, scary forest, right? But we have the confidence that however we ended up here, we're going to get to the goodies on the other side. Okay. So it may be this fear that we have sort of taken a wrong turn, that we've gotten lost in this forest. But I feel like with this emperor energy, this is in a very important phase of things for you. That this is sort of the path that you're meant to follow. Okay? And I think that you took a big risk going from the Empress to the Moon. Okay? Going from the sort of the comfortable existence, the familiar existence, or perhaps this is a card that says, I left home to go wandering through this dark, scary forest, and I'm not really sure if that was the right choice, right? We kind of see this Two of Swords in the environment as being like, was this a good decision? Or even asking, how the heck did I get in this dark, scary forest? But I feel like when you get to the other side and you get these rewards, you're going to realize that, it wasn't so bad. Maybe it was, but I've gotten through it now. It's over now. And so it was worth it. It was just part of the journey, I think it's been a long time. It may be that you have been in this dark, scary forest for quite a while. Maybe it feels like this is a change in your life that has been so long in coming, that we've been sort of wandering around. Maybe it's this wandering around in the forest feels like, maybe I don't know what the purpose is. I don't really know who I am or why I'm here. But somehow I'm here in this forest, and I thought this was where I was supposed to go, but now I kind of feel lost. I feel like we are slowly becoming the Emperor, slowly becoming the person that we need to become in order to sort of, to facilitate the changes that we really want to see in our life, to get to the success, to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, to get to really the glory of our destiny, to arrive at our star, right? Maybe the mystery card will be the star. But we know that the Death card is slow change over the course of time, and I think that you've had to grow and change a lot over the last few months. I feel like you've done a lot of healing, and there's a fireplace or something, right? There's like an old fireplace, or I don't know if you've sealed up the fireplace or something like that in your house. I don't know if that's, maybe you do that during the summer or something like that. And scrapbooking. You've got things in a book, scrapbooks or something like that. I don't think it's not a photo album necessarily, though there may be photos in it, but it's just like a collection of like bits of paper and things, like a scrapbook, right? Anyway, the slow, steady process over the course of time. And this really is kind of echoing part of our Eight of Pentacles too, because it is just the kind of daily repetition. I know it's felt like you've been in this dark, scary forest for a long time, but by persisting and taking it step by step, day by day, you are refining yourself into this Emperor. And I think this is a reward in itself, to find yourself becoming the master here of whatever this situation is. Okay, we're going to be happy when it's over. 10 of Cups, of course. But this journey has, it's almost like you spent so much time out in the forest that you've sort of made it your home. It reminds me of the Yellow Jackets, right? They spent so much time, and I don't know how they did. I mean, I like the show, but they, in 6 months they've built their own huts, they've domesticated animals, they have their whole the agriculture going. I mean, they took them 6 months to do that. It seems like, wow, a bunch of kids. It's impressive. But I feel that over the course of time, yes, you are sort of acclimating to this dark, scary forest, and you are you're becoming you're sort of becoming one with the forest. Yeah, I feel like you're overcoming your fears through sheer willpower. Okay, and that's really the Emperor over the Moon there. It has been a long time coming. We all know that the overnight changes take years to facilitate. Years of preparation, and then the change itself seems like it happened like that. Okay, it's maybe years of wandering through the forest, and then in one day, one second, oh, there's the exit. Okay, and it happens just like that. I think we've all had experiences like that in like parking garages or something, where it's like we're wandering, and then, oh, there's my car. It takes 2 seconds to find it, even though I've been looking for it for, an hour. And I've been there. The feeling of relief, the feeling of joy, the bliss, the contentment when you're through this period of time is going to be extraordinary. This is almost tears of joy. We're going to be so happy when this nighttime becomes daytime. You know, that we're going to, we're really going to kind of, we're going to feel really blessed. Okay? So whatever you're going through right now, I feel like you're just about to experience that overnight change. Yeah. Things won't be the same after this. It's happening rather quickly at this point. And you're facing your fear. You have been confronting. I think that you've been in that, I think you've been in that forest for a while. Yeah. And I kind of feel like the Spirit has moved you in this direction. And it may seem rather strange why we would sort of part ways with a good life, right? With this Empress energy. Maybe this is like you've left the family home to go find your way through life. Maybe this is that I've left the good job to go find my really purposeful destiny, sort of career vocation, you know. It could be that we've left the safety of a relationship in order to go sort of find our independence. Okay. Maybe we have left the safety of, the stable ground beneath our feet to go face our fear and like go skydiving or something, you know. It could be something along those lines, because to me that Empress is kind of comfort, safety, consolation. It's a big warm hug from life that says you don't have to go anywhere and do anything. Don't worry. But then the Emperor says, no, I've got to go like sort of make my bones here in the forest, you know, and I've got to trust that the universe has a path for me, that there's a purpose out here for me, and I got to go find it. Okay. And, that 10 of Cups makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. Okay. The Spirit is saying that you've been having some strange issues with your memory lately. I think you've been not that you're forgetting things, not less memory, but more memories. Like you've been remembering a lot of things. Like I feel like this dark, scary forest is really an internal place. And I think it is a lot of monsters in here, a lot of things going on, a lot of things in the shadows, right? I feel like in your life you're discovering a lot about yourself, who you are, why you're here, what your path has been. You're experiencing a lot of, I feel like, revelations about life, about your past, about your history, maybe even past life type of memories coming through. But a lot of revelation, a lot of things are coming to light in your life, okay? And I wonder if there is some sort of a family secret or something that you're just now learning about, or something that happened a long time ago in your history or your family's history that you're just now becoming aware of. Okay? I feel something like that, because I feel that the Death card is sort of cutting ties with something back here. And maybe this is that, we've had a revelation about something in our past, and that is saying, well, okay, I got to go my own way now. So something, I feel like the Death card, something is cutting contact with maybe a person in your life. Maybe this is some kind of it was a split. Maybe it was a divorce. Maybe this was you just kind of cutting your family or a certain part of your family out of your life. Okay? And then we've been in the dark, scary forest. This was in the past. This was, probably a few months ago or something like this. Because now we're kind of in this dark, scary forest saying, okay, well, now who am I and where am I going? Right? Well, we're about to find that out. We're about to discover that, and it's going to feel really, really great. I think that you have some doubts at times in your questioning, did I make the right decision? Was it right of me to do that? Yes, the rewards are going to be extraordinary. This is kind of like putting your mind at ease, putting your heart at ease. Everything is happening for the best. Everything is going to turn out wonderfully for you. Okay? The sun is about to rise in your life. Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about this Fool. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Also, you should watch that show, This Fool. I think it's on Hulu. Wonderful show. So funny. Michael Imperioli's in it, and he's great. Your general energy is the Fool. We feel now not that we are scared, tiptoeing through the dark, scary forest. We are frolicking in the daylight. We feel free. We feel liberated. We almost feel like we're starting life over again. We're getting a second chance. We feel like we are renewed. We feel like we are reborn. Well, that's what happens with the death card is a card of change. Okay? The death card is it's the nature of nature, the fundamental force of the universe, right? It shouldn't really be called death even. It should be called change. Should even be called rebirth maybe, right? Or just birth. Right, but it wants to get your attention, so it's dark, it's scary, and it's called death. But it's a birth, rebirth, and you're being reborn into a new life as this fool. Kind of a big fat zero, right? Ready for whatever is going to happen, not predefined. Right, the fool is in search of a quest, in search of a direction, but has the freedom to choose, has the freedom to be open to that, to receive that, has no ties, is not locked down in a tower somewhere, is free and ready for adventure. The fool is just eager for a quest, The fool is liberated from the past. The fool is open and receptive to the future. The fool is not predefined. It's the zero card. It does not yet have an identity. It is capable now of reinventing itself or just inventing itself, growing and becoming whatever it is meant to become. So I feel like you are letting go of something major, a past identity, shedding a skin, or getting rid of this sort of past karma, or kind of ancestral family sort of curses or trauma or something like that. And we're sort of hitting the reset button. And we're saying, I don't have to be defined by any of those things anymore. Now I get a chance to start over and do things my way. Yeah. And that's your general vibe, right? In the environment, you got the Two of Swords. You're going to have to make choices now. You're going to have to, every moment is going to be, do I go left or do I go right? Okay, in every moment you're going to follow your intuition again. See that little crescent moon at the top there? Okay, I think that really what this is about is you've had to make a decision about a relationship in your life, and I think you probably kind of looks like a pair of scissors, right? I feel like you cut somebody out of your life, and I feel like you're not regretting it at all. I feel like it's giving you the freedom to just to breathe and just to feel and to determine what your life is going to be. Okay, that you're letting go of something or someone that was sort of providing your identity for you. Okay? I think that you're doing so with peace, though. You're not doing so with anger or animosity or aggression. It's a peaceful. This is a card that's saying you're going to sleep very well at night. Yeah? And I think when we get out of the dark, scary forest and we get into the daylight, first thing we're going to do, find a nice shady spot, take a nap. Maybe not even the shade. Take a nap in full sun. This is a card of peace, peace of mind. Yeah, peace of mind. And I'm happy we have this and not the Nine of Swords or the Seven of Swords or the Three of Swords or the Five of Swords. It's a 2. It's saying I've made choices in my life and I'm going to make choices going forward that I'm not going to regret my choices. I'm making choices that I'm going to be happy with. And maybe we didn't always do that. I certainly have made choices in my life that I'm not proud of. But I think from this moment on, the fool is kind of wiping the slate clean. All that is done and gone. Now, the choices that I'm making, I'm going to sleep like I'm not going to make a choice if I'm not going to be able to sleep later that night. So it's kind of like that's how we're following our intuition. We're saying I'm going to make a choice. Now, am I going to be comfortable with that choice? Is that going to sit well with me? Or am I going to be up all night sort of worrying about that choice and sort of doubting the choice? It's going to bring us peace. Following our intuition, making choices that are in alignment with our true selves, and we're sleeping like a baby. Okay? Now, the obstacle, or the fear, let's say, is the Nine of Cups. The fear is that I won't be happy. The fear is that I won't achieve the abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, or spiritual creative planes. That I won't find my happy life. That I won't, I'm out here trying to follow my bliss, and that I won't find it, And that's kind of where we are inside of the dark, scary forest. It almost feels like we'll never get out of there. right? I'll never find the life that I really am supposed to lead, or that I'm supposed to live. It could be the fear is that this was the best I've ever had, and I peaked, and there's nothing more than this. Okay, but this is that sort of false comfort and consolation. This is the way nature sometimes will tell you, oh, you don't have to get out of bed. You know, I feel like it's sort of instinctual in us to just stay in bed, to stay where it's safe, to not go outside and do things, because there's animals out there, there's predators, right? We need to stay inside where we can be warm, we can conserve calories, we can procreate, and that's what nature wants us to do. Nature's not going to say, go ahead, go out and do the risk, go out and go through the dark, scary forest, and maybe you'll get eaten, maybe not. It's sort of our instinct to be safe so we can propagate the species, you know. So it makes sense that this is the energy that's kind of trying to call you back to this warmth, this warm and cuddly, cozy, comfortable cage, really, right? Keep ourselves, if you're in the cage, you're safe, right? What would it say about thankfully we don't have a 10 of swords, but it's like the bird cage, right? This is the allure of the bird cage. Come back into the bird cage. It's safe in here. You're in the bird cage for your own good, so you don't get eaten by other birds out there in the neighborhood, you know? And so the bird's thinking, oh yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'll just stay there. I feel like you made a decision that you just said, no, I can't. There's something going on in this bird. I cannot stay here. I'm willing to take my chances out in the dark, scary forest. Kind of reminds me of that show Silo now. I can tell I've been watching more TV lately. The Nine of Cups, though, is abundance and happiness. This is us pursuing our happiness and following our bliss. And I feel like living a life of freedom and choice and authenticity feels better right off the bat. Even if we never get it all figured out, even if we never achieve all of our goals in life, I would rather be out there on my own trying to find it than to be stuck in that cozy bird cage. No matter how cozy it is, no matter how luxurious the bird cage. I'd rather take my chances in the dark, scary forest and find the life that's meant for me. Okay? You did that, and I feel like you are going to be happy. Like I said, the sun's about to rise. The sun is about to rise. For the Fool, I want to do one I Ching hexagram. I know this reading is getting long already, but we'll make it quick. One I Ching hexagram for our Fool. We've got 37 people in the home. A woman's constancy is fruitful. Yeah, fruitful. Well, the Empress, that's kind of a fruitful card, right? And we are talking about a family thing, I believe. And we're talking about the people in the home, okay? People in the home cooperate in their shared space and invest in it together. Steadily over time, all involved can grow freely, find their place, and nurture connections with others. New things can enter and grow, becoming part of the whole. Where are the boundaries of the home you inhabit? How are you building inner and outer relationships into a home? What kinds of growth does this environment support? I think the Fool is realizing that this is not the environment for growth for me. That maybe this is a place in your life. It doesn't have to be a family thing necessarily, but maybe this is a place in your life where there were too many boundaries. Okay? Where you weren't able to build anything into a home. That there wasn't the right kind of growth supported in this environment. Maybe people in this environment weren't cooperating in the shared space and investing in it together. Okay? And then steadily over time, right, which is the Death card, all involved can grow freely and find their place and nurture connections. Yes, but I think for you, that slow and steady growth over time, you are growing freely and finding your place, but it's not here. Okay? So I think this hexagram, that's pretty spot on. That's pretty spot on, okay? The Six of Pentacles to me feels like you're finding a different environment. You're finding an environment, this is the people in the home. This is the environment where this is the people in the home, right? This is the place where everyone's cooperating, right? It's the Six of Pentacles. To me, it feels like a potluck. It feels like a round table. Everybody's there. Everybody's contributing something. It feels like this is the shared space that people are investing in together, and that steadily over time, everyone's finding their place at the table. There's new growth. We're becoming part of the whole, right? And I feel like this is the better home for us. So I feel like you've left home, and it was not easy. You've been in the dark, scary forest. You're finding your new home. Maybe literally, maybe a job, maybe a career, maybe spiritually. Maybe in relationships, maybe literally in family, and this is going to be like a new family, chosen family. Okay? So I like this. I think everything fits in nicely, and that I Ching really nicely pulls everything together. We're going to put that up there, people in the home. Hermit energy, right? Because I feel like we've been kind of lonely wandering through, this is that part of the journey where you've left home, and you're just kind of out here alone, doing your thing with confidence, trying to stay confident, and eventually you're going to find your destination, you're going to find your new home. So I feel like this is probably going to be the Fool or the Hermit. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. The Emperor again. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Because this is our own autonomy. This is our own sovereignty and our own authority. This is your journey. And no one can decide this for you. You are making the choices. And maybe the Two of Swords in the environment in your relationships, that somebody else, there was another relationship that was perhaps deciding too many things for you. And so you had to take charge of your life, and you had to go in the dark, scary forest and go wandering alone to find the place where you really fit in better. A place that was more, everybody was sort of equal. Okay? And so to get a repeat of this card may say that, your life was sort of under the dictation of somebody else for too long, and you've had to take your power back. I love this reading for you. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do another I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.